David had it in his heart to build a house for the Lord. He was chosen by God. He was plucked from the sheep herding fields, given victories in battles, and placed in the palace. He knows God's hand on his life, and he has a good plan. But God says, not you. It wasn't for David to do the work. There are any number of good things out there that we could be doing, but it doesn't mean we should be doing them. In Ephesians 2:10, we read how God prepared good works for us. Some are prepared for us, some are prepared for others. We don't want to take away someone else's work, then they won't be walking in what God prepared for them. We need to know our place and be content in it. We need to be willing to let others take charge over things that maybe we have a great deal invested in. David had the plans for all the parts of the temple. He had the materials. He had spent time and energy on this project. He was invested in it. But he had to hand it over. David sounds like he may have some concerns over Solomon being in charge of the project. He gives him many warnings to be strong, courageous, to act, to do it, and to keep God's commandments, to seek God with his whole heart, and so on. David knows how things can so quickly go wrong, but he has to take it out of his own hands and leave it in Solomon's hands. How? How can he give up control over such a large, important task? He can't do it because he trusts Solomon so much. He's his child. He knows he lacks experience. If you have an adult child, you may know the feeling of them going off and you're thinking about all the things they've never had to deal with before. But they figure it out. They can do it because God goes with them. And that's how David can let go of such an important thing. He has to trust God to do it. He's not entrusting it to Solomon, he's entrusting it to God. God shows us through history, through scripture record, that he can use even pagan kings to carry out his plans. He can use Solomon. He can use our children. He can use us. He can use that person in charge when you think you could do better. You couldn't. Well, you shouldn't. You do your work. Let them do theirs. And trust God for it.